Be honest with yourself for a moment. Have you ever stood in front of the mirror, turned your head from side to side, and felt that something was quietly aging you? Something you couldn't quite name? You've changed your outfit, you've perfected your skincare routine, and your confidence remains as strong as ever. Yet still, something feels just a little off. It's not your clothes. It's not your skin. And it is definitely not your confidence. It is your hair. Yes, the wrong hairstyle can quietly steal your natural elegance, making you look more tired, older, or simply less polished than you truly are. Meanwhile, the right hairstyle, the one that works with your face, your texture, and your energy, can instantly transform you. It can make you look refined, sophisticated, and effortlessly expensive without trying too hard at all. And here is the truth that most women never realize. Looking rich and elegant has very little to do with money. It has everything to do with how intentional, how thoughtful, and how harmonious your overall appearance feels. Elegance is not about expensive cuts or designer products. It is about presence, softness, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing what truly works for you. In today's video, I am going to walk you through 7 carefully chosen hairstyles that will instantly elevate your presence. These are not passing trends or youthful styles forced onto mature faces. These are timeless, graceful looks that soften your features, add movement, highlight your best angles, and quietly signal class and self-respect. But please pay close attention, because toward the end of this video, there is one very common mistake that can undo all of these benefits. It is a habit so many women fall into without realizing it, and it ages them more than anything else. So stay with me from beginning to end. Each style builds upon the next, and by the time we finish, you will never look at your hair the same way again. You will see it not as a problem to fix, but as your most powerful accessory for timeless beauty. Let us begin with the very first hairstyle. The one that instantly adds softness, grace, and understated elegance. 1. Soft layered shoulder-length hair. There is something incredibly powerful about soft, layered shoulder-length hair. Not too short, not too long, just perfectly balanced. This length works like magic for women over 50 because it frames the face without dragging it down. It gives you movement, breathability, and that effortless, well-kept look that always feels expensive, even when you are wearing a simple white shirt and no jewelry. Here is why this style is so effective. As we age, our faces naturally lose a small amount of volume. Heavier, longer hair can accentuate that loss by pulling everything downward. But shoulder-length hair sits right at that sweet spot where it lifts the eye, opens up the neck, and creates a soft, vertical line that feels elongating and graceful. But most women make one critical mistake with this haircut. They keep the layers too blunt, too stiff, or too structured. They ask for precision when they should be asking for softness. And that is exactly what removes the elegance. True sophistication does not come from sharp lines. It comes from gentle, flowing shapes that mimic nature. Imagine hair that lightly brushes your shoulders with every turn of your head. Imagine subtle volume around the crown, not teased, not backcombed, just naturally lifted. Imagine delicate layers that soften the jawline, blurring any harshness and making your whole face appear more rested and radiant. That is the goal. Another reason this style works so beautifully is that it does not try too hard. And that is the secret behind looking truly rich. Nothing about it feels forced, overstyled, or desperate. When your hair looks easy, natural, well-maintained, and healthy, it sends a quiet, powerful message. I take care of myself, but I do not perform for anyone. That quiet confidence always looks elegant. This style also adapts beautifully to different hair textures. Whether your hair is fine or thick, straight or gently wavy, the right soft layers will add body where you need it and remove bulk where you do not. And maintenance is surprisingly simple. A good blow-dry with a round brush, or even just air drying with a lightweight mousse, can give you that polished but effortless finish every single day. But as beautiful as this soft layered look is, it becomes even more powerful when paired with our next style. Because if softness adds everyday elegance, then structure adds quiet authority. And that is exactly what the classic long bob delivers. 2. Classic long bob. Now let us move on to a hairstyle that brings quiet power, structure, and refinement to your entire appearance. This is the classic long bob, also known everywhere today as the lob. It is one of those rare hairstyles that never goes out of fashion, and there is a very good reason for that. It is clean, it is refined, and it has a unique ability to make your entire face and presence feel completely put together, even on days when you are wearing no makeup and your most comfortable clothes. But not all lobs are created equal. A flat, lifeless, one-length bob can actually make you look older and more severe. It can pull the face down and create a heavy, boxy shape that does nothing for your natural beauty. The real magic of this haircut lies entirely in how it is shaped. The most elegant version of the long bob is slightly angled. The front pieces should be just a little longer than the back, sometimes by only an inch or two. This subtle angle creates a natural lift along the jawline. It draws the eye downward in a flattering, elongating way while still maintaining enough structure to feel intentional and composed. And structure, more than anything else, is what gives this hairstyle its rich, expensive feeling. Think about it for a moment. When something looks neat, intentional, balanced, and symmetrical without being harsh, our brains automatically associate it with higher quality, higher value, and higher care. That is exactly what the lob does for your face. It creates clean lines that frame you beautifully without ever cutting into your features or feeling severe. When styled with a soft bend or a gentle wave, just a hint of movement from a large barrel curling iron, or a few pin curls left to cool, the lob adds just enough softness to keep it from feeling rigid or corporate. It becomes the perfect balance between polished and approachable, between powerful and warm. Another hidden benefit of this hairstyle is how beautifully it works with natural gray, silver, or blended tones. You do not need heavy, expensive color to look polished with a lob. The shape itself carries all the elegance. In fact, gray hair often looks even more striking and modern when cut into a clean, angled lob because the uniformity of the shape highlights the beautiful variations in your natural color. This is a hairstyle that speaks quietly but very confidently. It does not shout for attention. It simply sits there, perfect and composed, and lets your face and your energy take center stage. But if you think structure alone is enough to create elegance, the next style might surprise you. Because sometimes true grace comes from knowing exactly when to go shorter. 3. Soft layered pixie. Let us now talk about a shorter style that defines timeless elegance in a way few other haircuts can match. I am talking about the soft layered pixie. Now, before you dismiss this and scroll away, please stay with me for just a moment. I know many women over 50 are afraid of short hair. They worry it will look too severe, too masculine, or that it will highlight every imperfection. But when done correctly, a soft layered pixie can be one of the most powerful, feminine, and elegant looks a woman over 50 can ever wear. The key word here is soft. Not sharp, not overly cropped, not harsh, not the severe, spiky pixies of the early 2000s. A beautifully layered pixie cut with gentle texture around the crown and soft, wispy framing around the face can instantly highlight your very best features. It draws all attention upward to your eyes. It lifts your cheekbones. It creates a fresh, open, and graceful appearance that feels modern without ever trying to look young. So what makes a pixie feel rich and elegant rather than severe and aging? The answer is precision. A good pixie is never accidental. It looks clean, intentional, and thoughtfully styled every single day. There is no hiding behind your hair with a pixie, and that is precisely what makes it such a confident choice. When you are not hiding, you are showing up fully as yourself. And confidence, more than anything else in the world, is the true foundation of lasting elegance. Another reason this style works so incredibly well for women over 50 is that it removes physical and visual heaviness from your face. As we age, heavy, dense hair can literally pull the face downward. The weight of the hair drags down your features, making you look more tired and less vibrant. But a light, airy, beautifully layered pixie does the exact opposite. It lifts everything. It creates space around your face, brightness around your eyes, and a sense of ease and freedom that longer hair simply cannot provide. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all is the message this hairstyle sends to the world. A soft, elegant pixie tells everyone who sees you that you are not desperately trying to look younger. You are not clinging to the past. Instead, you are choosing, with full confidence and self-awareness, to look your absolute best at this exact age. That shift in mindset alone changes everything about how you carry yourself. Maintenance is also surprisingly simple. A pixie cut requires more frequent trims, every 4 to 6 weeks, but daily styling takes only minutes. A little texture paste, a quick finger style, and you are done. You will spend less time on your hair and receive more compliments than ever before. But if you think short hair is the ultimate transformation, wait until you see how subtle, natural waves can completely redefine elegance in a completely different way. For soft, loose waves. As we continue our journey through these elegant hairstyles, let us take a closer look at a style that brings together softness, movement, and quiet luxury in the most beautiful way. I am talking about soft, loose waves. Not the overly styled, tight curls of formal events. Not the artificial, crunchy spirals from a curling iron set too high. I mean natural-looking, effortless waves that feel light, airy, and completely unforced. There is something undeniably graceful about this hairstyle. It has a way of softening absolutely everything about your appearance. Your face looks more relaxed. Your features appear more balanced. There is a gentle, healthy glow that seems to come through without any extra effort at all. And that is the secret behind this style. It does not look done. It looks naturally, effortlessly beautiful. As if you simply woke up that way. For women over 50, this effect is incredibly powerful. Why? Because harsh lines, rigid shapes, and overly structured styles can sometimes make the face appear more tired, more drawn, or more severe. They add tension where there should be ease. But soft waves do the opposite. They bring movement back into your look. They create life and flow. They catch the light in ways that add beautiful dimension to your hair, making it look fuller, healthier, younger, and more refined without any heavy products or complicated techniques. Another beautiful thing about soft, loose waves is how incredibly adaptable this style is. Whether your hair is shoulder length, armpit length, or even a bit longer, adding gentle waves instantly transforms your look from simple to sophisticated. It takes the same haircut you have been wearing for months and makes it feel fresh, expensive, and new again. And here is something very important to remember. You do not need perfection here. In fact, a little imperfection is what makes soft waves feel real. A few pieces that fall differently. A wave that bends one way while another bends a different way. Slight asymmetry. These small, natural variations are what give the style its authenticity. And authenticity always feels more elegant than perfection ever could. Imagine walking into a room full of people. Your hair is softly moving with every step. Nothing is stiff. Nothing is forced. Nothing is loudly screaming for attention. You simply look graceful, comfortable in your own skin, and quietly confident. That is the power of soft waves. They do not announce elegance. They simply embody it. To achieve this look at home, use a large barrel curling wand or heatless rods, and always curl away from your face. Run your fingers through the curls gently, never a brush, and finish with a lightweight shine spray or a drop of hair oil on the mid-lengths and ends. But as beautiful as softness and movement are, there is another level of elegance that comes from simplicity, restraint, and control. Let us move on to that now. 5. Sleek, straight, polished look. Now let us move in a completely different direction. Let us talk about a style that defines clean, sharp, sophisticated elegance. I am talking about the sleek, straight, polished look. This is where elegance meets discipline. There are no distractions here. No extra volume. No unnecessary layers. No romantic waves or soft bends. Just clean, smooth, beautifully healthy hair that falls perfectly into place with intention and control. But please do not misunderstand this style. Sleek does not mean flat. And that is where so many women go wrong with straight hair. When the hair loses all volume, when it becomes flat against the scalp and limp on the ends, it can actually make the face look drawn, tired, and lifeless. That is not elegance. That is neglect. The true beauty of the sleek, straight style comes from balance. You want smooth, glossy texture combined with just a touch of natural lift at the roots. Not height, not teasing, just gentle, healthy volume that keeps the hair from looking glued to your head. This creates a refined, elongated silhouette that feels intentional, composed, and quietly powerful. And that balance is exactly what gives this hairstyle its rich, expensive appearance. Everything about this look says control. Not the control of someone who is rigid or anxious, but the control of someone who knows exactly who she is and does not need to prove anything to anyone. The hair looks polished. It looks well cared for. It looks like it belongs to a woman who values quality over quantity, precision over excess. Another critically important detail with this style is shine. Healthy, luminous shine instantly elevates the sleek, straight look. It reflects light beautifully. It adds depth and dimension even without layers. It makes the hair look vibrant, hydrated, and alive rather than dull, dry, or damaged. This is why proper care matters just as much as the cut itself when it comes to this style. Elegance is never just about the shape. It is about the health and the finish. To achieve this look, you will need a good quality flat iron with adjustable temperature settings. Never go above 380 degrees Fahrenheit for fine or color-treated hair. You will also need a heat protectant, a lightweight smoothing serum, and a boar bristle brush to distribute natural oils from root to tip. Blow dry your hair completely straight first, using a nozzle attachment to smooth the cuticle, then go over each small section with the flat iron just once. When your hair looks healthy, glossy, and smooth, it automatically looks expensive. And the sleek straight style highlights that better than almost any other haircut. But while sleekness brings control and discipline, there is another style that brings a completely different kind of elegance. One that feels soft, graceful, and deeply feminine. 6. Classic low bun. Another style worth discussing is one that never, ever goes out of fashion. It has been worn for generations by the most elegant women in history, and it still holds exactly the same power and beauty today. I am talking about the classic low bun. Simple, timeless, incredibly elegant. This hairstyle does not try to impress anyone. It does not shout for attention. It does not rely on trendy colors or complicated braiding. It simply is impressive. A low bun, gently gathered at the nape of the neck, creates a clean, composed, and beautifully balanced look that instantly feels refined, sophisticated, and deeply intentional. Here is why the low bun works so perfectly for women over 50. It opens up your entire face. When your hair is pulled gently back and secured low, nothing is covering your features. Your eyes become the focal point. Your cheekbones become more visible. Your neckline is highlighted. There is a sense of calm confidence and quiet grace that comes from showing your face fully, without hiding behind curtains of hair. But the true beauty of this style lies in how softly it is done. This is critical. A low bun should never be too tight, too severe, or too perfect. When you pull your hair back tightly against your scalp, it can actually pull your features upward in an unnatural way and create tension in your expression. Instead, aim for a gently gathered look. Leave a few soft, face-framing strands loose around your temples and ears. Allow the bun itself to have a slightly relaxed, imperfect finish. These small, thoughtful details make all the difference. They take the style from strict and severe to sophisticated and soft. Another beautiful thing about the low bun is how it shifts attention away from your hair and onto your presence. When you wear this style, people notice your expressions, your posture, your energy, and your voice. They notice you, not your hairstyle. And when those things shine, true elegance appears naturally. It is not about hiding behind your hair. It is not about using your hair as a security blanket. It is about letting your natural beauty, your wisdom, and your confidence come forward without obstruction. The low bun is also incredibly practical. It keeps your hair off your face and neck on warm days. It looks appropriate for everything from casual brunches to formal events. It can be dressed up with elegant hairpins or kept simple with a velvet scrunchie. And it takes less than 5 minutes to create once you learn the technique. To style, flip your head upside down and gather your hair loosely at the nape. Twist gently, wrap into a coil, and secure with pins. Then pull out a few face-framing pieces and soften the crown with your fingers. That is all. But before you feel like you have finally found your perfect style, there is one critical mistake you must absolutely avoid, because this one habit can quietly undo everything we have discussed today. 7. What to avoid: overly heavy, outdated hairstyles. And finally, let us talk about the one thing you should absolutely avoid if you want to look rich, elegant, and instantly younger. I am talking about overly heavy, bulky, outdated hairstyles. This is where so many well-intentioned women unintentionally add years, sometimes even a full decade, to to their appearance without realizing it. Here is what happens. Hair that is too thick, too bulky, too dense, or lacking any movement creates a visual heaviness that pulls your entire face downward. Instead of lifting and opening up your features, heavy hair drags everything down. Your eyes look more tired. Your jawline looks less defined. Your whole presence feels weighed down and less vibrant. And where does this heavy hairstyle come from? Most often, it comes from holding on to the same haircut, the same shape, and the same styling routine for too many years. The style that looked beautiful on you at 45 may be actively aging you at 55 or 65. Our faces change. Our hair texture changes. Our volume changes. But many women keep cutting and styling their hair exactly the same way decade after decade, unaware that what once flattered them now works against them. Here is the truth that may feel uncomfortable, but is so important to hear. Elegance evolves. It adapts. It grows with you. When your hairstyle stays stuck in the past, it quietly ages you even if your clothes, your makeup, and your energy feel completely modern. The mismatch between a dated hairstyle and a vibrant woman creates a visual confusion that reads as older than either one alone. Another major issue with heavy styles is that they hide your natural features instead of enhancing them. Thick, blunt cuts create a solid wall of hair that covers your face rather than framing it. Your eyes, your cheekbones, your smile. All of these beautiful features get lost behind too much hair. And when that happens, your beauty simply does not get the chance to shine. The solution is not a drastic, shocking change. You do not need to go from waist-length hair to a pixie cut overnight. The solution is thoughtful, intentional adjustment. Ask your stylist to add soft, internal layers to remove weight while keeping length. Ask for texturizing to create movement. Ask for face framing pieces that open up your features. These small shifts can completely transform how your hair feels and how you look. Because at the end of the day, looking elegant is not about doing more. It is about removing what no longer serves you. It is about lightness, ease, and intention. True elegance never comes from chasing trends. It never comes from desperately trying to look younger or copying what someone else is wearing. True elegance comes from a much deeper place. It comes from understanding what genuinely works for your unique face, your unique hair texture, your unique lifestyle, and your unique energy, and then embracing that with full, quiet confidence. The right hairstyle does not just change how you look, it changes how you feel. When you finally find the cut and style that truly suits you, you feel lighter, you feel softer, you feel more refined, more yourself, and more at home in your own skin. There is a sense of relief that comes from no longer fighting against your hair, no longer hiding behind it, no longer feeling frustrated every time you look in the mirror. And here is the beautiful thing. When you feel that internal shift, other people see it too. They may not be able to name exactly what has changed. They will not point at your hair and say, "Oh, you got layers." But they will notice that you seem more confident, more radiant, more at ease. They will feel your presence more strongly. That is the invisible power of the right hairstyle. It works from the inside out. So take a moment today. Look at your hair honestly. Look at your reflection without judgment, but with loving attention. Ask yourself this one important question. Is my current hairstyle helping me shine? Or is it quietly holding me back? Is it lifting my features or pulling them down? Does it make me feel elegant and confident, or frustrated and hidden? Because sometimes, the smallest change creates the most beautiful transformation. You do not need a complete makeover. You do not need to spend a fortune. You just need one thoughtful adjustment. One conversation with a stylist who understands mature hair. One decision to let go of what no longer serves you. If you found this video helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who deserves to feel elegant. And do not forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path for more videos on graceful aging, style, and confidence. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next video.